Please note the disclaimer. Hey guys, surprised to see a video of mine on your subscription feed? Well, I basically started recording this because I have a ton of questions for an anime I've watched recently. It's Digimon Adventure Tri or 3, however you want to call it. I don't really know. But my need to really do this is because I have so many questions that I just don't know, and I have to wait till like May 12th, even later, depending on how often the episodes get available in English sub, considering I speak no Japanese, nor do I think I'll be able to afford a Crunchyroll premium membership with like my minuscule paycheck with how crappy it can be sometimes. Anyway, I'm getting off topic, but let me explain a little bit. I've recently, ever since I heard of Digimon Tri being a thing, I was ecstatic to see any episodes of it. For those of you who don't know, which is a good majority of you, I was huge into Digimon back when I was a kid, more so than Pokemon, and I grew up during the time where Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and that kind of stuff was like the highest caliber of entertainment, really speaking, even though it wasn't back then. I would literally come to school and see so many of my classmates in elementary, like, oogling over the person who had the next holographic Pokemon card, or who had the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh collection. Heck, I even participated in a duel in school in Yu-Gi-Oh, which I would get into, but this video may be a little bit long as it is, and that would be a whole entire story in itself, which I may make into another video. Anyway, so Digimon Tri, well, it's supposed to take place 6 years after Digimon Adventure 1, but still taking place like either shortly after the final battle of Digimon Adventure 2, or it's taking some time around when Tai, Chi, and the rest are still in high school. Now, I don't exactly know. I can't pronounce all of their names, Joe. I know Joe's name in the Japanese version is still Joe, but just Joe Senpai. But what I mean is I can't pronounce TK's original anime name nor Izzy's original anime name, so I'm going to be calling them by TK and Izzy, referring to Yamato's younger brother and the redheaded nerd kid that always helps out and knows the most about digital stuff. Anyway, so the episodes start. So the basic gist of the series, if you haven't seen it, I'd recommend you go and watch it. But basically, gist of the series is it's basically distortions in the digital world have been happening, and Digimon have been infected, and it's causing a whole entire crazy thing with the Digimon. Oh, if you could only see how many times I'm flailing my hands around. I talk with my hands. Anyway, so there's also gateways into the human world that these infected Digimon cross through, which basically has them come out as distorted, glitching messes, and will attack anything near. And with the events of this happening in the digital world, at some point, Tai, or Tai Chi, whatever you want to call him, is reunited with Agumon, along with the rest of Digidestineds who meet their respective partners from the first Digimon, who basically, and then it's actually first Tai who meets Agumon after running to a corrupted Quagumon, how do you say it? The giant bug Pokemon, red bug Pokemon, not Kabuterimon, the red one with the pincers that I think Agumon and Tai first fought back in their original run as Digidestineds. basically, they fight. Tai basically gives Agumon enough power to digivolve into a Greymon, and they fight and end up pushing Koyagumon back through the distortion. Not sure what happened, but Tai looks around and sees how much destruction he and Agumon have caused by this battle, and this in turn gives him doubts on if what he's doing is actually right. So this would cause to plague him for a few episodes, because he doesn't want to cause or hurt people, unless he doesn't want to hurt people at all, and he thinks by using Agumon and fighting alongside Agumon, like having him digivolve into Greymon and fight, that he may by mistake hurt someone. And it's already bad enough that the Digimon are getting bad raps in themselves because of the humans not understanding. Because this is not, everybody does not have a Digimon at this point in the timeline, like the presumed ending of Digimon 2 had, where everybody had got their Digimon. Digimon are now like working side by side with humans and all that, and everybody and their mother has a Digimon partner. No, it's somewhere before that, even if this presumed ending is still canon, because of the presumed future was to basically just pretty much say that, oh, this is what happens after, because they didn't have any intent, they didn't know at the time that they were later down the road going to make Digimon Tri to continue the story. So anyway, so basically the group gets together once they reunite with their partner Digimon, and they try to come up with a plan, like what if another infected Digimon comes through, what should they do? The group, even including Yamato, or Matt, as the people who watched the English dub know him by, are all decided that they basically need to fulfill their destiny as Digidestineds, basically be Digidestineds, and fight alongside the Digimon, and basically do the best they can in defending their city from these Digimon. And I also forgot to mention Joe, who's basically, he's afraid and he doesn't really want to be a Digidestined, but he's kind of forced to, as long as he's partners with Gomamon and all that. But in any case, so since Tai has so much grief in his head about because he keeps flashing back to when he saw the landscape of what basically was the result of the battle, and he kind of blames the Digimon, but not verbally. He just feels like he doesn't know what's right and what's wrong in this case. So this angers Yamato as they butt heads, and the group basically disperses with Kari, or Hikari, however you want to say it, and TK, basically saying to the rest of the Digidestineds who are there that they're going to go and talk to their brothers to basically figure all this out. But while this is all happening, a government agency is basically aware of what's happening, and basically view the Digidestineds as valuable assets to closing the distortions and basically stopping any further destruction. So we see back in the digital world that Leomon has been dealing with the infected Ogremon, and he's trying to basically keep him under wraps, as Ogremon had just basically wiped out a whole entire kindergarten kind of place full of Digi-Eggs, and basically saved him before he was about to kill the caretaker Digimon. But basically, later in the episode, Mimi, who had come back to Tokyo, their city, I guess they're in, I'm not exactly for 100% sure, but she comes back to help out. She's already back, actually. Before the meeting, she decides to come back and basically is still the same Mimi that we all know from the original series. But anyway, she basically has befriended this mysterious new girl who we find out that is the 6th Digimon destined of the originals, which kind of makes no sense considering since the originals the group was already complete, she would technically be a part of the 2nd generation. But in any case, the writers are just basically putting her a part of the 1st generation. And her partner is a cat-like Digimon named Mekomon. Now, this is one of the theories I'll get into later, but generally, what I want to say is it's kind of like, it's just basically, throughout this, an Alphamon has appeared and is pursuing Mekomon, who's fleeing from this Alphamon for whatever reason that we don't know yet. And then turns out he's a Digimon partner of a girl of the same name as Mekomon. So I'll just call her by the nickname that Mimi gave her after befriending her, Mei. So Mei is basically doing her best to try and take care of Mekomon, but in any case, Mekomon is pretty much, we later find out in towards the end of the last episode before, well, at least episode 8, because episode 9 and beyond is supposed to come out like May 12th in Japan, and I don't know how long it's going to be till English dubs get a hold of everything. So basically, Mekomon is basically this mysterious Digimon, and there's also this cloaked Digimon who's been observing everything, and we don't know exactly who that Digimon is, what is all the connection with Mekomon and Alphamon. And then, a few episodes in, Ken appears in his Digimon Emperor outfit, which is seemingly like he's somehow reverted back into his Digimon Emperor state, which we thought he would be past, and has somehow come into control with a corrupted Imperial Dramon, which had encountered the original had basically a distortion happens where basically Ken appears and basically swipes Mekomon while they're at the festival for Tai Chi and the rest of the Digidestined school. He basically swipes Mekomon and pulls him into distortion. Palamon and Gomamon pursue him, but the rest of the Digimon can't get through. So it's only Palamon and Gomamon. So basically, with also Leomon too. So basically, they confront this infected Imperial Dramon with Ken seemingly controlling it. They fight. Palamon evolves into Togemon and fights, but it's a losing battle between the both of them. Until Joe comes back, which is basically him and Gomamon have been basically fighting, concerning it's Joe's basically pushing him away by him not wanting to fight, but Gomamon knows that they are partners and they still need to fight and all that, but basically this causes friction between the two, and Joe basically just at this point says just tell Gomamon to go away. He doesn't want to be a Digidestined anymore. But after it's a losing battle while fighting Imperial Dramon, Kari goes and finds Joe before he's able to leave and basically tells Joe what's going on and why does he need and he doesn't really need a reason aside from him being Gomamon's partner to fight and basically be a Digidestined. So Joe basically goes and supports Gomamon enough to cause Gomamon to unlock his Mega Evolution, which is Bikemon. And Mimi, inspired by this, also unlocks Lilymon's Mega Evolution, which is Rosemon. The two fight, and they manage to fend off the Imperial Dramon the Imperial Dramon who's basically seemingly controlled. They fend him off and rescue Mekomon. And then they come through the distortion again, with seemingly it all being everybody confused on what's going on. Why is Imperial Dramon there? Why is Ken there? What is happening? So basically, I can't even speak. So basically, Mekomon then suddenly turns evil, kills Leomon, and then goes through the distortion, and it closes behind them, with the Digimon Destineds just basically want to try and decipher what happened. So basically, it just brings up a lot of questions. First is, why was Alphamon there to begin with pursuing Mekomon? Now, I forgot to mention that the original Digidestineds would join Mei and Mekomon, tie in Yamato would form Omnimon, and then they would basically fend off Alphamon, causing the retreat and all that. But basically, why is it's kind of like a square of basically questions. The first one is, why is Alphamon there, and what does Alphamon maybe know? Next is, what's the deal with Mekomon? What is Mekomon in general? He seems to be more than just an average partner Digimon. Next is, why is Ken there? What is Ken doing? You would think he would be past his Digimon Emperor days, but something's made him change back. And then we have the infected Imperial Dramon. Where are the other second generation Digidestineds, with the exception of Kari and TK, who are written in this series to be a part of the original ones, but not part of the second ones? In any case, we see them early on in the silhouette, like a silhouetted kind of red on black silhouette scene of them being defeated, which I'm assuming is around the time when Ken and Imperial Dramon were either infected or turned, and Ken basically took the infected Imperial Dramon and basically put into motion everything that's happening. Maybe it's because of Imperial Dramon being infected and Imperial Dramon being a royal Knight type Digimon. Basically, this is what caused Alphamon to be alarmed by this, and basically is the reason why Alphamon pursued Mekomon in the first place, and basically is why Alphamon wanted to destroy Mekomon before he and the rest of the available Royal Knights get infected. I have no idea, and these are so many questions I've yet to be unanswered. So I really do not know what's happening, and I really hope that May 12th comes sooner than later, because I want to know what has happened, what's the deal with all this. And also, it's also because Steven Universe is premiering back on May 12th, and I'm a fan of Steven Universe, so that's besides the point. Anyway, for those of you who've watched Digimon Tri, whether it be on Crunchyroll, another anime site, whatever, leave your comments down below to possibly answer my questions with your own theories and what may happen. My theory is some Digimon is controlling Ken and Guildramon that causes them to do it, and it's somehow related to Mekomon. Well, this is about as much as I had to rant about. I really didn't expect it to go on as long as it did, but I just have a lot of stuff to rant about because I've just finished watching the episode. But anyway, like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out and really lets me know that you like my content and really inspires me to do more. But anyway, I will see you in the next video.